Right. And the left-hand one then was your before. Setup-wise good. I mean, I think grip pressure probably gets tighter over time when you're hitting more and more shots, but generally speaking, the setup was pretty good. As you took that golf club away now, we can see using that red line there, how your lower half starts sort of sliding through there. So your right knee's going through there. There's some lateral movement to the side. And we can see because of that lack of rotation, how short your backswing kind of looks relatively to how far back you'll get in a second, okay? So that slide there now, you haven't really sort of rotated. As you will rotate on the way down, that club now is going to be coming back more now to when the ball's going to start going left. Nothing changes. You get a straight pull with a draw to the left-hand side. When you try to change the path by coming more from this side, you did so with your arms and hands leading and just cut it to the right too far. Because the 8, 9 and 7 and wedge were probably okay, you could do a little bit of that because you've got loft to play with. You weren't going to slice a wedge because you can't slice a wedge. You're able to kind of manipulate that club. You do that with a 6 or 5 or even longer club, goodbye. It's had a massive slice, massive pull, and you're basically playing to not hit a bad shot rather than think, okay, there's my target, I'll hit it there, right? So the right hand one now, we see these are the practice drills. You can see your lower half there, that right hip now moving round. Yeah, and look how much further, that's a practice swing. Now those arms to me are a little bit low. Ideally at this point, we'd expect to see your hands and arms above your head. Now this is the first one, okay? A little bit low again, but it's a further back, so this is statically as well. You're not going back with a full momentum. Head staying down probably a little bit longer than you want, so you're not able to sort of pivot as well. That's why it sort of puts a bit of strain on your back there, okay? That's a better arm there. See your hands are sort of above your top of your head there, okay? But you can see that lower half there now moving and how much more range of motion you've got, yeah? And back to the golf ball there now. So doing that 3 or 4 times. Then you step to the golf ball here now. Again, I'm not saying I have no thoughts, but you want to try and clear out of all the thoughts. Maybe just the right hip as that trigger to sort of take the golf club away. That right hip moving back now. Look how much further that backswing is there now. I mean, that's a much longer backswing. It's not saying you've got to get longer to get more power because you hit the ball long anyway, but if you can do it now without having to try and hit it as hard as you do, and you can control things a bit easier, makes the whole game a lot easier. So that there, the left hip now has probably gone from, well, just about on the inside of that line there, okay? But you can see the level, the daylight you've created there by turning it, and now you can move into the golf ball, into impact, you can pivot and rotate through the target nicely. And again, the follow has always been pretty good, but you can actually see now there's part of your collar's back here. You can see where you've rotated there fully because your right shoulder now is getting behind you. You're rotating the lower half, yeah?
It's a bit of a golf shot, isn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly. And then that's the thing.
Have you got my first swing on you?
Probably haven't, because I think every month they kind of get deleted. I might have some I might have some in my other one, to be fair, yeah. I think I said it's to like delete after. Have you got the original videos I sent to you?
I don't think you've sent anything over.
Have I not?
No.
Well, check your junk stuff. I'll record these in time. We've done some on the course. You might not send it. I'll have a look and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, in terms of that backswing length there now, that is, I mean, that's chalk and cheese, to be fair. That's a bigger movement now for me in terms of where you're going there in terms of that backswing. Okay, but this one here now, because you haven't turned back, find you're coming back to the ball just quicker than you used to, okay? And it's hard then to sort of transfer. You sort of start popping up a little bit. This one here now, as you come back to it, you're more on your left. There's impact, yeah? You're more on your left side. Look how much more movement that trail leg's got. You're more there, whereas this one's kind of... come back a frame. That one there, you're not quite still on your left side. I mean, you're not as forward as you would be. So you're going to end up pulling that ball to the left-hand side anyway. Yeah. So yeah, definitely a better movement going back there with that lower half. Kind of does a lot of the things in the swing without thinking about it, yeah? Just be aware, if you start getting a few hooky ones, watch your arms don't get too low. That was a good swing there, your arms want to get above your head there. The first couple of swings you made where the backswing was, that for me, a bit low. But then in some ways you are exaggerating the hip movement, so that's to be expected, okay? So get that right hip moving, work on that. And again, do this 3 or 4 times before each shot, yeah? Just small little motions, don't keep the head down, but small little motions there. Just sometimes go to just here and then through, yeah? So smaller backswing there and then through the target, yeah? So it doesn't have to be a big swing all the way back and through in the practice swing, but then when you step to the golf ball, the movement now you put in practice from the previous 4 or 5 swings, now you just think, okay, right hip, trigger that movement, and then from there we're just going to react at the golf ball. You don't want to be thinking about the swing down here at impact. There's so much going on, so. Okay, mate? Good stuff, right?